Today I'm going to show you something that you can do in the drawing studio, which is called a foil embossing. Here you can see two examples. The materials that you'll need to get started are just a half sheet of drawing paper and a pencil. Draw your design on the half sheet of paper. It can be anything from a still life to a landscape or something abstract. Once you are finished drawing your design in pencil, you're ready for the next step. You'll need a sheet of foil the same size as your paper and some tape. Place your paper on top of the foil and tape them together at the top with just one piece of tape. The next step is to start tracing your image so it makes an impression in the foil. In order to do this, you'll need to place something soft underneath the foil while you're tracing, like a piece of foam. Make sure that you go over every single pencil line, pressing down so it makes an impression in the foil. As you're working, lift up your paper to see your impression in the foil. Make sure it is making deep lines and that you do have something soft underneath. Sometimes people forget to put something soft underneath and it doesn't make that deep of an impression in the foil. After all of the lines are traced over, you can take the drawing off of the foil. The next step will be to go over the lines one more time to make them even deeper. After all of the lines have been made deeper, the next step is to start making some of the areas a little bit more three-dimensional. To do this, I'm using a different size tool, and I'm also pressing down on the entire shape, not just the outline, so the whole shape will be pressed in. If you want your shapes to be pressed out instead of pressed in, you can turn the foil over and do the embossing on the back. Another thing that can be done is add textures. So here what I'm doing is using the thin embossing tool to make little lines in the flower petals. Here I'm filling in some other areas with dots. Now I've finished embossing and adding all of the details, and the next step is to add black. The black paint is going to go down in all the lines, and it's going to make all of the details show up. So what you do for this step is you just paint the entire piece of foil black. You have to make sure that the paint goes down in all of the little lines. After the whole thing is painted black, you're going to take a paper towel and start wiping off the excess paint. You only want to wipe off the paint that's on the surface, not down in all of the lines. While you're doing this, you want to make sure that every once in a while you change the part of the paper towel that you're using to wipe off the black paint, so you're using a clean part of the paper towel. So most of the paint here has been removed, and now I'm just shining up the areas that are flat. And then this is what it looks like when it's finished.